Hello, Assalamualaikum to all of you. This is Dr. Aisha. I would like to talk about the internal rate of return a little bit in this video, and I use the example that we discussed in our previous lecture, and this is actually related to the topic of capital budgeting. So this is exactly the answer that I get from the tutorial questions that we discussed before, that is on JDR company. Alright, so this is the calculation on how you should calculate the NPV, and based on this calculation you can get that, you know, this is the positive NPV, that is 307031. And this is the initial outlay, and this is actually the cash flows, and based on the calculation where we look at the PVIF is interest rate is 12%, so that at the end of the day we can get the NPV of 307031. Alright, I repeat again, once we want to decide whether we want to accept the project or not, number one, look at the NPV. As long as the NPV is positive, then we accept the project. Alright, another way of determining the whether the project should be accepted or not is by looking at the IRR, or internal rate of return. Alright, so in this IRR, the basic formula for IRR is where that particular rate is the IRR when the NPV is 0. Okay, so you know that the rate here is 12%, and you can get the NPV is 307031. Okay, so if we want to get IRR, we have to use try and error. Alright, where you have to change this 12% to another figure, because at the end of the day we want here NPV should be 0. Once we get here NPV equal to 0, that particular rate is what we call as IRR. Alright, the key is like this. Given that, you know, that the NPV is 307031, right? It means it is positive, so it means that the IRR rate must be higher than 12%. Okay, so you should try, you know, for example, let's say 15%, you know, and it is a try and error method. So if you calculate using 15%, you can see what will be the value of NPV. If it is still positive, then increase it a little bit, you know, like 16% or 17%, up to the point where you can get NPV equal to 0. Or in some cases, obviously, yes, you can get 0 as NPV because this involves the, you know, calculation of the factors, etc. Sometimes you can get the figure is 0.2598, for example. This is also can be considered as 0 NPV. Okay, so as I said before, keep trying from, you know, like must be above than 12%, and keep trying till you finally get the value of NPV equal to 0 or very, very close to 0. Alright, thank you, and that's all.